Last year, I made almost $70,000 in my business from one single offer, and here is the exact business plan I followed to make it happen. This is literally every single thing that I did to sell that offer, to bring in leads in the first place, to actually get conversions and sales, literally mapped out on one single page. It is the simplest business plan you'll ever see, but it's so effective. And I'm gonna walk you through not only what these three sections are here and what you should be focusing on when you're planning out your business and how you're gonna sell your offers in 2025, but also what did I actually do inside each of these sections? What were the actual strategies, the actual actions I took behind making almost 70K from one single offer over the last year? The best part about this is it covers every single step in the sales process, right from getting a lead in the first place, getting eyes on your business, to actually making the sale. So follow this. This is literally the three-step process I teach to all of my clients inside my signature Full Body Yes sales course. And I'm going to walk you through exactly now what are these three steps. So starting with this first column over here, this first column is audience. So this is the section where we're really focused on getting eyes on the business in the first place. So this is the traffic. This is the visibility. How are we even getting ideal clients into our space in the first place who would potentially then become leads, potentially become our clients in the future? Now, this isn't one that a lot of people I feel like will talk about when you're thinking about sales and actually talking about, okay, how do we generate income? How do we sign clients? We kind of disregard this one a lot of the time, but I think it's so important to actually include this here and have a plan for how people are coming into your business versus it just being the algorithm happening to pass new people into your space, because this is what makes it really sustainable. This is what means that once we've sold to all the people who are in our space, once we've made all the sales in the final stage, then actually we've still got new people coming in. It's sustainable, and you can actually bring in consistent clients and consistent sales by making it really sustainable, by actually having a plan for how new people come in as well that are filling the spaces of the ones who have already converted and already bought from you. So the very first thing I did for this audience section then is I have a 30 sales activities freebie. So this is a freebie that I have constantly available. I'm promoting it, I'm talking about it, and it's something people can jump into. So whenever they come across me, see me promoting this, see me talking about this, this is a way that they can opt in, they get on my email list, they get nurtured through a freebie sequence. Then it's a really great way for them to jump into my world and kind of a first experience in my space, essentially, to hear a little bit more about the value I can offer, hear a little bit more about me as well through that email sequence afterwards. It's just a great way for people to come into my space. So freebies work incredible for this. And this has been really nice because a lot of people who have come into my space and perhaps just found me through social media, through just the algorithming, and just found me through there, have actually then decided to stick around because they've downloaded a freebie. They've actually got onto my email list. They're then receiving consistent emails from me versus it just hoping that they will stick around, hoping that they will see my content. I'm actually able to have a lot more control in that process then. So that is the very first thing I did, is actually have that freebie sequence set up so new people can come in and actually stay in my space as well. Now, the second place that a lot of people found me was through Facebook groups. So this is a really great place to just connect with people and kind of meet new people that wouldn't otherwise come across your content, aren't following you on anywhere. This is a great way to connect with people. So I would last year spend a little bit of time just inside Facebook groups, just getting to connect with people essentially. And I was very much just focused on just building organic, meaningful connections here. So anyone that was asking a question that I could actually answer and had 2 cents that I could share about, anyone who was looking to connect with anyone. It was really nice to make some connections there. And then often they would come over to my platforms where I'm more consistently posting, like YouTube, Instagram, my email list, and actually jump over to one of those other places. Again, this is where it really works nice having those different strategies here, because the sales activities freebie, I had a lot of people who I connected in a Facebook group and they were looking for something along those lines, so I can really easily recommend it, or they can come across it because I'm talking about it very actively over on Instagram, for example. So when they find me over there, it's really easy for them to then jump into a freebie and actually stick around, which I think is a big part of the audience piece that we don't talk about as well, is not just getting eyes on our business. It's amazing to have, 11,000 impressions in the month on Instagram, but how many of those people are actually sticking around and actually going to become a part of your audience versus just coming, visiting, and leaving straight away and never seeing your content ever again? That is what's actually going to convert into a sale if you can actually get someone to stick around. So that is the big piece here, and that's why this works so well, having different things for this and having several different ways that this can happen essentially. And then the third and final piece for this audience section is Instagram organic content. So this is obviously just really out of my control a little bit. It's just dependent on kind of who sees my content, who it's pushing it to with Facebook algorithm, all of the content, and just who ends up seeing my content. Definitely get some new people coming in through there. But again, that's where it's really helpful to have things like this freebie as a staple. So even when I'm not promoting anything actively, it kind of just gives them a reason to stick around essentially and gives them some value straight up front. Now then, going into the second section, this is the one which people always forget about. And I see so many business owners not getting the sales that you're wanting because you're missing this part. You'll go for audience and then you'll think, great, now how do I sell to those people? But you're missing this important step. And this is the step which makes all the difference in people actually buying from you. So that step is leads. And that is where we will essentially nurture those people. So these people have come in at this point. They don't really care about us that much. They don't really know us that well. They don't really know if we can help them. The leads section is where we are nurturing those people. That is where we're taking those people from saying, who is this chick that I've just found on Instagram to, okay, wow, this could really help me. I'm a little bit interested. Okay, let's get on a sales call with them. Okay, let me sign up for their offer, and actually getting them making a sale. So this is such an important step and such an important one to do intentionally. And also by focusing on this step, this is what speeds up that process as well, from someone meeting you to someone actually signing on as a client. It doesn't need to take, 6 months, years for someone to actually decide they want to work with you in your higher ticket program. Actually having some leads things in place can be the difference between it taking 2 years for someone to actually sign up for your program versus them signing up 2 weeks after they've met you. And I mean, it honestly doesn't need to take 2 weeks. I've had people literally find me and sign up 7 or 10 days later to work with me in my highest ticket offer. And honestly, I credit the leads area with that because of how I've nurtured those people really intentionally. So let's talk about what have I actually done when it comes to this leads area over the last year to make the almost 70K just from my one-to-one coaching program. So the first thing here is mini offers. So these are essentially low ticket to maybe mid ticket, but more low ticket, or free offers which I have put together to give people a taste of working with me. It gives them a little bit of an experience of what it's like to be in my space, what it's like to work with me. They can kind of try before they buy essentially, and it's such a good way to build up that know, like, trust really, really quickly. If someone can jump into a 3-day experience with you, or they're jumping on a free masterclass, or they're jumping on this paid challenge, for example, with you, it's a really, really good way for them to decide straight away, are you full of BS, or do they actually want to work with you? Are you actually going to be able to provide value for them? And is this actually going to be helpful by them deciding to work with you? So it's a really, really good way to get people into your higher ticket offers. Hence why this is really part of that funnel, part of that business plan for me for my higher ticket program. So again, this is the business plan that made me 70K almost from my one-to-one coaching program alone last year. That, yes, of course, the mini offers also made some money. And also the focus with that was not profitability. The focus was not, okay, how much money can I possibly make from this challenge I'm putting together? The focus is I want to get some really amazing leads who are high quality, who would be perfect fits for one-to-one coaching, who I can then upsell afterwards. So to give you an idea of what those mini offers look like and give you some examples, I did a sales challenge in the fall. So this was a 90-day challenge where I was dropping in with some Telegram voice audio notes, and also had people taken up the challenge to sell every day for 90 days essentially in their business. This was a low cost offer here. I have my content to clients event as well, which I may or may not be hosting in the next few months, so keep an eye out for that. And that was really a great option for people to, again, get a taste in a specific area of how I can help them with using their content to convert to clients. And I also had a low cost paid training series, which I put out as well. So again, between these different things, it means some of them are evergreen, some of them are more launch style, but I've just got different points throughout the year for anyone who is thinking about working with me that they can jump into to kind of get a bit of a taste of what it's like to actually work with me and see what the experience could actually be like if they do decide to continue working with me further in my one-to-one program. Now, before I reveal the second post-it for the leads section, most people will just assume that the Instagram content or that just my weekly email newsletter, for example, I just do that and that's completely good. That's all done. And yes, that can be really great. But I think firstly, that's more of a passive way of generating leads and nurturing your leads versus some of these are a little bit more active, and it really helps with something like mini offers, for example. It gives them a bit of urgency, a bit of a time to jump into something, because the sales challenge, for example, it's starting on a certain date. You need to sign up for that date if you want to jump in, and it actually gets people taking a little bit of action towards the direction of actually working with you. So those are so helpful, not just having this box for you be, okay, I'm just going to use my Instagram content to nurture them, for example. Try and think a little bit more about anything else you can do to actually bring those leads closer to working with you. So mini offers are a really great idea, free masterclasses, things like that. Love all of those. And also the second one, which I utilized, was DMs and emails. So this really looked like me actually having conversations with my potential leads. So people who I knew had signed up for the 30 sales actions freebie, for example, people who I knew were new in my world, actually having conversations with who I could see was really engaging and giving them opportunities to reach out to me as well. So very much utilizing things like Instagram stories, posts to actually start conversations with people and making it very clear what problem I'm solving for people and how I can help them with that specific problem. What can I actually do? How can I help them move towards their goals specifically? And making it a really easy yes for them to send me a DM firstly, or send me an email inquiring about something. And also me prioritizing those DM relationships and just building relationships and engaging with my ideal clients. I feel like this is something we overcomplicate so much, or we make it really, really simplistic to the point where it doesn't get results. If we'll think we have to just say, you know, great post, love your post, or anything like that to engage with our ideal clients and build relationships, or we'll really, try and micromanage it essentially. But honestly, it can be as simple as, if you know someone has reached out and said that they're struggling with a certain thing, if you have a free event coming up, a free content event, and they said they were struggling with content, for example, actually sending over the link to that person, reaching out to that person, sending over your latest YouTube video when it would be really helpful. That can be a really big differentiator between actually building that relationship versus not. So really thinking about how can I utilize just those DM conversations you're probably having anyway, let's be real, to make them actually a little bit more useful towards nurturing my ideal clients, showing them value that I can provide, and actually just being really helpful to them essentially. So we've talked about audience, we've talked about leads, and then the final step in this process, the very last step, is of course sales. So this is where we're actually making the sales. This is where we are signing the clients. So these are the strategies I use to actually sign clients on from all of these different things and actually get them signed on to my one-to-one coaching program. So a few examples here. So the first thing that I did was pitching at low ticket events. So I had all of these events, I had all of these different low cost mini offers here, and actually pitching at those, giving people a really no-brainer option to continue working with me. Sometimes this wasn't my full program. Sometimes this was a one-to-one intensive and giving them an offer for that, for example, but just giving people a really obvious yes, next step towards working with you after those mini offers and low ticket offers is such a game changer, because realistically, a lot of the time those mini offers, they'll help us in one aspect. They'll, improve us, give us a micro transformation in a certain area. But there's probably still other things we want to work on, right? There typically is a little bit of a bigger picture of what we're wanting to work on. And, one free masterclass or one challenge will not quite solve everything for us. So giving people a really easy next step opportunity towards working with you is such a game changer. For example, with me, with the sales challenge, I held this sales challenge. I believe the revenue from the actual challenge itself was around 1,000 something, but the upsells within 2 weeks of the challenge starting were already over £2,000. So again, you can see that's really, really helpful information, because it had already outstripped how much the sales challenge itself made just in 2 weeks of upsells, which was me selling intensive sessions. And the best thing here as well is you really know your audience essentially. So if you're pitching to someone who has come to a free masterclass, it's talking about content, for example, you know they're wanting support with content. We have some very specific information on those people already. So what I would do that is repackage your one-to-one. Don't just sell your one-to-one with the same general transformation that you would normally do. Sell it with the transformation, but focus it and gear it towards content, knowing where people are at. You can repackage your one-to-one. You're still selling the same thing. It still has the same skeleton essentially, but you're repackaging it to sell it in a different way to really meet your people where they're at. And this is the beautiful thing about this kind of structure as well, and this kind of flow, is you can see based on whatever the low ticket offer is you're selling at that time, where people are necessarily at, what they're focusing on, what most drew them in, and then actually repackage your one-to-one specifically for that. So it keeps it fresh for you as well as you're selling this. And then the second thing I did in the sales category was personal invites. So this looks like me actually, exactly as it says on the tin, inviting people to my one-to-one programs. So this would not be me just cold DMing people, just to be very, very clear with that. These people have gone through this entire process to get to this stage in the end. And this really looks like anyone who has been a really ideal fit, anyone who, for example, has, very much expressed to me they're struggling with a certain thing, very much expressed to me they are looking to achieve a certain thing, they maybe came to a low ticket offer, and I'm just sitting there thinking, you know what, you would be perfect for this one-to-one program. You would literally be perfect, and I can tell that because of everything you've already told me. Actually just inviting those people, giving them an offer, actually pitching an offer to them and sharing with them, would you want to talk about working together, even opening up that conversation for people who have really expressed that and for people who it's a really great fit for. This works so well when you do it just really naturally and authentically. I've never ever had a bad response to this. It's always okay, wow, that's really helpful. Actually, thank you so much for just seeing essentially really where I'm at and just really acknowledging that. And also, telling me where you see yourself helping me, where I can see myself, actually helping them, how I can see my work helping them, what we would work on together in one-to-one coaching, not just saying, do you want to join my program, but actually really expressing that vision that I see for them as well. And it's a really, really great way to sign clients, especially for something where you do have more of a relationship built, like a one-to-one program where you're working very, very closely with that person, actually inviting just anyone who you think is a really perfect fit for that. So then we come to the final step of sales, and this is one of the most common ones. I guarantee a lot of you will be just relying on this, and that will be your only one. I think it's very important, but it has the best benefit when you're doing other things as well around this. So that is marketing through Instagram and email. So that is the very typical, okay, I'm going to talk about my offer on an Instagram post. I'm going to mention about booking a discovery call with me. I'm going to do an email talking about I have spaces left, all of those different things. And those are really, really helpful with those other aspects added in because they're almost the subconscious selling there. So I really view those as they are building awareness around my offer so that when someone is inside a mini offer or has joined a masterclass of mine and they see me pitching an offer, they're going to know exactly what my one-to-one program is about. They're going to have seen the testimonials already because they've been following me for so long and because they've been in my space and because they've seen me talking about this every single week for literally forever. They've seen me talking about this one-to-one program, talking about the amazing results, sharing client screenshots. They've seen me doing all those things. So when it does come to then they get pitched an offer at some time through some different way, through any of those different options on the sales category there, when they do come to getting pitched an offer, they already know about the program and they're already kind of thinking about it anyway. That's such a powerful position to be in because if we're hearing about a program for the very first time on a masterclass, for example, we're maybe a little bit more hesitant, we're considering it, we've never thought about it before, we've never, knew this existed, so unless it's an immediate yes, it's going to be a little bit of thought that's required there. But actually, if you can have talked about your program so much beforehand, just through your different platforms, that people know about this program already just by being in your space, just by seeing your content, that is so powerful because A, they could very much just sign up from that. It can happen for sure. And B, even if they don't, it means they've thought about it to some extent if they've seen it enough and they know that it's a thing, they know that they can work with you in that way. So when they join your low ticket offer, they're already thinking about it to some extent, joining your higher ticket offer. Now, as you can see, these three together are kind of pretty powerful. This is your full sales process here. And this is what has made me almost 70K, again, just from my one-to-one coaching program last year, forgetting any other offers that was just from one-to-one coaching there. And it is so powerful. Building up such a simple business plan, like this is not complicated. This is very simple. It has 3 steps. And as well, as I said, with the audience piece, it is so sustainable because we're not just draining the leads that we currently have. We're constantly bringing new ones in as well in a way that makes real sense and is just really intentionally thought out as well. So if you're wanting to map out your 3 steps, this is my signature process taken right from my Full Body Yes sales program. So inside this program, we help you to create a sales process and sales strategy that actually feels like a full body yes for you. It actually feels very intuitive. It feels super simple. And as you can see with this, it is really easy to follow the plan that you end up with. And it's catered specifically for you and your business. So yes, this is a course, but it's probably the most personalized course you will ever find, because inside this course, we have a sales strategy builder, which is essentially helping you come up with a personalized strategy based on proven aspects of what I've done with my clients. So I'm telling you what actually works, and you can essentially choose your own adventure style, pick different aspects of that to fill in your 3 sections and build your own plan just like this. That is actually proven to work. It's strategic, it's intentional, and it's so simple as well. And for a limited time, I'm giving you a code for 20% off of my Full Body Yes sales course. I will put that in the link in the description. Make sure you go and check that out. I pretty much never do discounts on this course, so link is in the description. Very limited time, 20% off of the entire Full Body Yes sales course, so you can come up with a plan just like this for yourself that is super simple, actually proven, and actually going to get you really big results in 2025 as well. So again, make sure you check the link in the description for your coupon code so you can sign up for Full Body Yes sales with 20% off today. If you enjoyed this video as well, make sure you check out another video. I will put the link in the cards here. It is my $69,000 funnel breakdown. So I am walking through one specific aspect of this and doing a deep dive into the mini offers of how do I actually do that funnel? What does that look like? How do I set up the mini offers? How did I do the upsells? How did I do downsells from these programs? What did that actually look like essentially? So if you want to see me map out and just go more in depth into this mini offers section, make sure you click the link in the cards to go to the video there and watch that next. Thank you so much for watching. As always, make sure you subscribe so you do not miss the new videos every single Monday. Make sure you give this video a like if you found this helpful and want more strategic breakdowns with the post-it notes and everything. And thank you so much for watching. I will see you in the next one.